Hello everyone and welcome to my video today. I'm going to be going over some of the things you probably don't do when you're practicing in the range. I know a lot of you guys are probably pretty familiar with the range, so I'm going to go ahead and just hop right into some hard bots and go ahead and go over what we should be doing differently between the stages. I have 3 different levels today and I hope you enjoy. First up, we have the no movement flicking task. I want you to just flick onto the head of the enemy without moving at all. You're just going to sit here. If you need to, unplug your keyboard, but you probably already do this on your own. But if you don't, go ahead and incorporate this. If the hard bots seem to be too challenging for you, I do recommend that you go ahead and switch to medium bots, and it should be okay. Now, if you're able to go ahead and get a decent score on this right away, anything I'd say higher than 17, 18 bots, then I think you're pretty much good to move on to the second step. But if not, just keep practicing until you can get about 10 to 15 bots. A really good rule of thumb for all of these is to remember to try your best to not instinctively flick back to this pillar, because a lot of the time we hit a flick, we come back here, and while that's good for training these types of movements, we really want to try our best to kind of learn these further out or maybe even these closer micro adjustments. So try instead, when you kill the bot, keep your crosshair there instead of coming back to this middle place, and see if that helps you out as well. Next up, guys, we do have strafe aiming. Basically, this is just going to help you out for more of when you're taking those longer range duels and you got to be strafing back and forth. Like before, we're going to stand here in the middle, but between each kill, you just want to strafe back and forth. Now, I will say that it is pretty difficult when you first try this out, and you might not be able to get that high of a score, or at least the same score as before while standing still. But once you get used to it, I actually find that it's quite easier to keep your movement fluent when you aim, and I actually usually do this when I'm practicing in general, just to get a higher score. So really, it's up to you at the end of the day. Lastly, this is when things are going to get a little tricky. So I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this video can probably do those things, and strafing's not a problem for you either. So this is where we're going to incorporate our final thing, which is a marshal. I'm not even kidding, guys. This is the secret. You might have seen tens doing this, but I swear to you, this is the way to train your aim. What you want to be doing is strafing back and forth or standing still. You can do either. Just challenge yourself. Don't make it too easy. Now, we do not want to just get an easy no scope, because how many times are we really going to do that? And it's a little inaccurate. But instead, we want to practice quick scoping, because if you just barely aim in before you shoot, there's almost like a 100% accuracy every time. As you can see, I missed it there, but if you hit it and you just barely see the scope come in, it almost always is dead on accurate. So we're going to go ahead and try this, guys, and I will show you. So as you can see, it's a lot more difficult than it was before, but I highly recommend this, because if you can get good at this, I promise you, you will pull out a marshal and feel like a ranked demon every save round, and no one's gonna want to peek you. Like, it absolutely is disgusting, and it's 10 out of 10 the hardest way I've found to warm up in the range. And I've been doing this one most recently. My current high score for this one is actually, I think, 14 or 15. So it's still a work in progress. But guys, I would go ahead and try this out every single day before you play, just to kind of get a really solid feel, because it forces you to flick faster, so you have that time to scope in for it. So it kind of builds that speed that you don't always get when using a Vandal or like a Sheriff. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for today. That is all I have for you. I hope this helps you, and if it does, please leave a comment down below. And if you want to see anything else, let me know.